peanut butter on the bone?
Yeah, getting there. There's one.
It's somebody's birthday breakfast. Happy birthday, honey. It's time for birthday cake. Today we're gonna have some fun making a cake for not a person, a dog.
Oh boy, this should be fun.
Jerry, you're gonna love this one because it has all the things that you love: mashed potatoes and hamburgers. So we're gonna start by making some ears that will give it a little splash of fun, and we're going to make the frosting, which is the mashed potatoes, and then we're going to put it all on top of some hamburgers, and Honey's gonna love it for her birthday. To start out our birthday cake, we're going to make some ears. Paper that are in the shape of my doggy's ears, and since the two sides of the ear are different, I made a little X on this side so that I know which piece is which when we put it all together. I have a piece of parchment paper. I'm gonna cover my little thing with this. That way my fondant won't stick. Little piece of tape. And I can kind of like curve it around the table like this just to make it go round, because this is how it's gonna dry. I want it to dry curved. I have some gum paste and some fondant, and we use the gum paste because it dries hard, and we use the fondant because if we mix these two together, it makes it easier for this to stay moist longer while we roll on it. Interestingly enough, the information about eating them is on the back, so if you ever wonder about eating gum paste or fondant, it's right there. Both of them are totally edible. I have already pulled out of my bag two little pieces, gum paste, fondant. Now I'm going to smash it together. Once these are totally mixed, I'm going to put some carob into them. I like to sift my carob. So dogs cannot eat chocolate, but they can eat carob. The reason that we're using this is because it's going to help the dog ears be brown. We won't have to put a whole bunch of brown food coloring in there because we can use a little bit of carob to start the ball rolling. But if you don't have carob, you can just put more of your brown food coloring and then just put some powdered sugar, because once you use a lot of wet coloring, this gets wet. So I'm going to add some brown food coloring to this, and some orange food coloring, and maybe even some more carob, and I'm just going to play with it until I get to the color that I want. I'm going to divide this in half because I only need half of it for one ear. I put some carob down here so that it won't stick. Make a little log. If anything sticks, just put more carob. There we go. Then we just start rolling. Now, I want one side to be thicker and one side to be thinner. All right. So now I can cut this with my scissors. It's pretty stretchy stuff, I tell you. I could kind of tidy up the edges if they didn't go perfectly round. You can see that it's thinner here and thicker there, and that's because I want to push my toothpick right into the thick area. But it will be lighter here. That's why I want it thinner, because it's away from his body. Alright, so now I have taken a bag of patted sugar and I kind of like patted it down to get the shape that I want. And now I can just set it on top of the little form that we've made. And if I don't like how it's laying, I can kind of like pat this around a little bit, but be very careful not to move it around too much, because the first time that I made this, they all cracked because I messed with them so much, just trying to get the right shape, that we ended up with problems. So now I'm going to work on another one of these, and I'm going to let them sit overnight and dry nice and hard. They'll get a little lighter as they dry. And tomorrow we're gonna make the frosting and start on the dog cake. I made some mashed potatoes and I'm putting them through this strainer. I managed to keep Jerry from eating them.
Wait, that's not fair.
This strainer is gonna keep these from being all lumpy, because we're gonna use them as the frosting on our dog cake. And we're also gonna use them for the little face on the dog cake too. There's lots of really good recipes online for creamy mashed potatoes, so I'm sure it'll be easy for you to find one. We've made 3 hamburgers, and I've taken a knife to trim them to try to make them a little bit round. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these creamy mashed potatoes with a really big tip, and I'm just going to start getting this on here. Honey's very excited. She already knows that there's something going on. So I'm just gonna keep on working on stacking these and getting the frosting on. Now I'm building up the sides. Just working on smoothing it now. I have a Viva paper towel and I'm just gonna smooth out my mashed potatoes. Looks like that's about done with that. So now I'm just gonna kind of like clean up my little plate here. It's so important to have a nice clean plate. I've made a plan about where I want my ears to go. So I have taken my needle tool and poked in here so that I can just kind of like have a little road for the toothpick to follow when I poke it in. Here we go. Poke it in there.
Oh, it sinks down pretty easily. Oh, look at those ears. I see a doggy. Ruff, ruff. Oh. Most dogs don't like it when you play with your ears, but this one loves it. Actually, our dog likes it.
Yeah, she does. For your fur baby's birthday party, here's a great game. You could take a bottle and make some little holes in the side and put a string through it. And this is for a larger dog, by the way, when you have these bigger bottles like this. And then you could tie it to a chair on one side and another chair on the other side, and let them play with it. For my fur baby, since she's so small, I have a smaller bottle. Then you could tie it to a chair down below on one side here and another chair on the other side. But actually, my fur baby, she loves for me to hold it. So let's play the game. Are you ready to play this? So you can put a little peanut butter on here to teach them how to do this in the beginning. And then after they've learned, then they'll just do it without the peanut butter. I'm gonna put a little bit of food in here. See, there's the food. I put it inside. You gonna go get it? Okay, let's go get it. Good dog. Good dog. She loves this game.
That's a lot of fun.
Yes.
That's a great game, honey.
Can I get it again?
Uh-oh.
Can I get it again? Go get it.
Oh,
Good
there
dog.
we go. Good job, honey.
Game.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, honey. I've set up 2 bags with a slightly lighter and a slightly darker brown. We have the tip 4, and then we have a larger tip here. And so I'm just going to get his face on here. So I have mixed with this some molasses, and that is enough to give it the stretchiness that makes it easier to make the mashed potatoes into a picture. Outside of molasses, I put a little bit of brown food coloring in these. Now I'm going to take this and smooth it.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday, honey. I hope you like your cake, and we're glad that you were born.
Uh-oh. There it is.
Here's the cake. Enough talking. Let's eat. There you go. That's what you've been waiting for.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, honey. I think she chewed one of the flowers off of her hat. Look what we have. It's a birthday cake for you. Happy birthday, Bonnie. Good job for making breakfast for honey.
You didn't hit stop.
Oh.